6 classifications, but do the math on that. There are 4 there are 2 semifinal games in both boys and girls, and then 2 championship games in every classification. So there's 6 6 games that you have to call in each classification. That's a ton of basketball.
Yes, it is.
And to say I was delirious by the end of that week would have been an understatement. I said, I don't care what happens. I won't do this again. And to this level, so hence that we added people to our crew and grew the network. And, man, that's hard to believe. That was all the way back in 2007 that we started this thing. And now we're in the year 2025. It is flown by. And then we have the contract through 2035, Andy. And by then, when that rolls around, we'll have to do some serious evaluation on where everybody stands and what everybody's ambitions are at that point.
The way that things are going, who knows what in the world things are going to look like in 2035.
No kidding. There's a place for streaming, obviously. We handle all the streaming, so I definitely think that'll be there for wherever.
I'm talking about the world in general.
Oh, who don't know what that's going to look like tomorrow.
I mean,
got a big basketball game tonight with Auburn and Texas A&M. You got the State of the Union address.
Yeah.
Is it called the Joint Address to Congress now? It's not even called the State of the Union.
I don't know. Who knows?
It's called the Joint Address to Congress. Yeah, I guess.
Trump rebrand?
He probably did. He didn't like State of the Union.
Yeah.
But he's going to give the State of the Union tonight, by God. I can promise you.
Yeah.
He's going to give his version of it. There's 100%. Yeah, whatever that's going to be.
There's no question about that for sure. There's nothing. It made you live in interesting times. Well, brother, we do for sure. Softball season, baseball season is underway.
Great start.
Who would have thought? Auburn baseball 11-1. They go out and beat Oregon State. They got some really young pitching that looks very.
Man, if they play like this during the conference,
you always got to temper your expectations because you're heading into a buzzsaw.
Oh, well, hey, look, you just beat the number 8 team in the country, though.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Oregon State don't want to play us. I mean, that's when they're like, man, don't schedule them. Don't schedule them anymore, please. I mean, we went up there to their place where they hardly ever lose and took 2 out of 3 in that series to get to the College World Series. And here we are in Arlington, and we end up beating them. And they got to be like, well, we ain't playing them anymore.
But softball for
we're up live now, by the way.
19-1. Are you kidding me? I mean, look,
the Malvos have come in with a reckless abandon. Yeah, again, I know. Right, you got to temper yourself.
The competition has not been greatly elevated, but they've played quite a few of the same teams that Alabama's played. They played several.
Alabama's toward the bottom of the league. I mean, here's the. But here you don't worry about other teams. You play the games in front of you, and outside of that one loss to, I believe it was with Louisiana Tech, they found ways to win 2-1 games. They've beaten teams 13-10. I mean, they figured out ways, no matter what the situation is, they can pitch, they can hit, all kinds of different things, man. And that's what I'm so proud of, Andy, is that we see the emergence of our offense again. Because under Mickey Dean, the bats were dead. I don't know who was ordering the bats when he was there, but obviously ours weren't as good as everybody else's. But glad to see the Malvos. And, they're known for recruiting from when they came from Tennessee. Yeah. And they're known as a pair one.
He's supposed to be one of the better hitting pitchers.
That's what I'm saying. He's a hitting coach. So, and it's showing right now.
Yeah.
100%.
It is at that. So, again, you kind of you temper your expectations because, it's just going to be so difficult when you get into conference season like it is in every sport. And now that's the same way it is in basketball. And you know, Jim and I were talking about that today. You know, when we started this season, we talked and had serious conversations, and I think everybody said it's a foregone conclusion that the winner of the SEC will have maybe 5 losses.
Well, we all said it.
And Auburn's sitting here with 1. They got 2 more to go.
They got 2 more to go, and they need to knock on some wood. You want to finish strong, but you know, and this matchup has not been good for Auburn over the years. I think we're 2-4 or 2-5 in the last 6 or 7 games against them. We don't beat them very much.
That's true.
And so we've got to go to their place.
There's something about Buzz Williams.
Well, it's his system. But Bruce talked about it. He said we don't. This is not a good matchup for us. And you know, when we bring that term up, usually don't end well for us. When we said leading into Florida, not a good matchup for us. And you know, we're a definite better team than them. Can they beat us out there tonight? Absolutely, they can. And again, I just want this team to be if we go out and play a great game and they just outplay us and beat, sometimes you're just going to tip your hat. I mean, sometimes you're going to get
Florida.
Right. I mean, you know, there's sometimes you just get outplayed, but you know, I don't want to go out there and have a letdown based off of what we've done the last week or so, especially going into Saturday. We know what's happening Saturday, and you know that. You know they're going to come in and shoot the lights out. Alabama's going to score points, and we want to be able to finish this thing strong. I think Bruce said, "I don't want to split with Alabama. We want to win this thing outright, and we want to have a lot of momentum heading into postseason."
Yeah, so. Absolutely. All right, we're going to go ahead and take our first break of the night, but thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Thank you to JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air for their sponsorship, and we'll be right back with more right after this.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep us in mind. Don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We're your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout Central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
I'm Karen Chanel, your State Farm agent in Alexander City, Alabama, and the greater Lake Martin area. I want to talk to you a little bit today about your discounts. How many of you are entitled to discounts that you may or may not be receiving? One of the easiest discounts on your homeowner's insurance is that of having a fire extinguisher. Coupled with a deadbolt lock and a smoke alarm, that gives you an automatic discount on your homeowner's policy.
Ready for an unforgettable escape? Jump into adventure at Lake Martin, Alabama. From thrilling water sports to peaceful fishing spots, it's love at first bite every time you cast your line. Want more excitement? Catch an event with our vibrant festivals, concerts, and fishing tournaments all year long. And when the sun sets, dive downtown to discover local shops, delicious dining, and warm southern hospitality. Explore Lake Martin, where every moment is an adventure waiting to happen.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Brett here with you up till 8 o'clock, and then we'll let Auburn basketball take over as they will be taking on Texas A&M. They're in College Station, 8 o'clock on the ESPN Sports Network.
I saw where somebody corrected y'all today and said, hey, by the way, the game was on ABC. A comment on –
Oh,
so did one of y'all say that was on ESPN?
Did I?
Well, I mean, the game was on ESPN because if you watched on your app, it's on ESPN. By the way, I wished it had been on ESPN because maybe the daggum thing wouldn't have blown up and missed the whole half.
You can't. I told Jim, you can't make this up.
I mean,
a place we have not won since 1988.
We just wanted everybody to feel like they back in '88. All they could do is listen to the radio broadcast.
We got a chance to win the SEC. We're winning this game, and the dang truck blows up. I mean, what in the world?
Well, that's just kind of how it goes, isn't it? Hey, I mean, just caught on fire. Couldn't put it. I think somebody went out there and torched it. I mean, somebody. We can't watch this anymore.
Brett, I'm 49 years old. I have never in my life seen a game that did. I mean, I've seen them. Many that went off the air.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't never seen one that came back on when it was over.
That's exactly right.
I mean, the second it came back on, they were running the credits. I'm like, what?
And that was when we clinched the SEC, so didn't get to see any of that.
No.
That was the biggest nothing of just, I mean, just can't make it up. Like you said, I was pissed. My phone was blowing up, and everybody was like, did the TV, is yours out? I'm like, yeah, it's out. I mean, they're like, well, crap, what is going on? And I'm like, it's about typical. And, the whole freaking, I thought the whole arena blew up. I mean, I said, well, that's over. What happened? Did a meteor hit or something? So
God said, no.
They said, no, you can't. It is absolutely impossible for y'all to win in Rupp. We're about to shut it down. So,
but anyway, Georgia is at South Carolina. Actually, that one probably is over by now. I don't even know.
I'm about to pull it up. Yeah, I'm about to pull it up.
LSU at Kentucky. That one started at 6.
Good Lord, Kentucky's pissed. 66-32 with 12 minutes to go in that one.
Well, LSU is good.
They're not, but my God, they've had a couple of wins that they scared us for a while.
Oh yeah.
Georgia won by 9, 73-64 over South Carolina.
Poor old South Carolina.
And then they just dusted Arkansas the other day.
Beat the fool out of Arkansas and can't win at home.
Yeah, they can't win a game. They can't win a game at home. That's a big win for Georgia because now, I mean they got one more and. They're looking at possibly, I think they're going to make the tournament.
Something's weird there. I mean, you look at South Carolina and what they've done this year.
Right.
I think most people have forgotten, how good South Carolina was last year.
Well, until they came to Auburn, and then they were number one in the conference, and then we beat them by 40, and but they still had a good season.
And Missouri couldn't win a game.
And now it's flip-flopped. And Missouri's at the top of the conference, and here's South Carolina bringing up the rear. But South Carolina did find a way to win a couple of games. Dadgum, Missouri, they shot 0 last year. They didn't win a single ball game.
Well, I mean, people think about how much.
That's a heck of a turnaround by them, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Unreal.
People think about how much difference the transfer portal has made to football. It's always made this kind of difference to basketball, but to a lesser degree.
Right.
Now it's just opened it up where, I mean, when all you need is 5 guys, when all you really need is 3 guys.
Well, Rick Pitino came out and said he's not even recruiting high school kids anymore.
Well, look at look at this. Okay, for Texas A&M, that's why I told Jim today. Look, he keeps talking about Auburn High.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. All right, Texas A&M, graduate transfer, senior, junior, graduate transfer. Or I'm talking about.
I mean, senior, junior, senior. The whole daggone thing.
I mean, it's all experienced guys. They're going to be rebuilding just like Auburn.
Yeah, and the thing is, you just go to the portal and everybody moves around. And, but Auburn's got an opportunity to return Denver Jones and Chaney Johnson and Chad Baker-Mazar. And, Todd Pettiford, I think he stays. I don't know what Ja'Kai Howard's status is. I think everybody kind of leans toward he's probably going to be gone. But who knows? You don't know that. If he comes back, he's definitely got a spot there. I mean, you go out and replace Janai Broom and Dylan Cardwell, now all of a sudden you pretty much have the nucleus of what – I mean, good God. I mean, and then you go out and get somebody that's dominant inside to replace those guys, you're back at a top 5 team immediately.
Well, I didn't even that's what we were talking about today, and I thought when I start to think about it, I've got this mindset of, well, oh, my goodness, we got to replace everybody.
No, who cares?
All we got to do is replace 2 guys.
That's really the truth.
Mean, you got to replace Dylan Cardwell and Janai.
Chad Baker-Mazar will be 26 years old next year if he comes back playing college basketball.
And Cooper Flagg's 17.
I mean,
you got 17-year-olds and 26-year-olds.
And that's the world we live in now, man. I mean, and these coaches, though, Andy, are pretty much saying they're not.
Did you know Ryan Williams was 17
years? Not anymore. He's 18 now.
Okay.
So now I guess they can run that in the ground.
I thought he was perpetually 17.
Yeah, he never ages. He's the best 17-year-old in the world that's never going to get older. But it's such a crazy gap, and we've seen through gray shirts, red shirts, and COVID years and all that, medical red shirts, guys play 9 years in college, dang near a decade. And when that guy from Miami in football, when he in school for 9 years, what the hell are you taking in school for 9 years? I mean, seriously.
How many degrees do you have?
Are you going to class?
Yeah.
Does anybody care how long somebody's at a college anymore? Is anybody counting that anymore? You never hear. It is so funny. Just 5-6 years ago, what we used to the language on this show and talking about academic eligibility, that is so far gone.
Did you hear? I
mean, it is not even existing.
Barkley, when he was talking, that's the first thing he said. He said, these guys get an education, which is by far the most important thing. And I was thinking,
whatever,
Chuck,
dude.
I love you, brother.
He's in 1985. He needs to come on up to 2025.
And I think he still believes that. And I believe, I think we all believe that an education, we like to say that, but it just doesn't mean anything anymore.
It don't, man. I mean, again, I was in education for dang near 27 years, Andy. I mean, I believe in a college degree, and you and I both do, and our families did, and that's just kind of how we've all come up, and I think we've lost a lot of that, and I think we're creating a scenario where a bunch of guys are going to get out and not be able to play sports anymore, and they've been living a lavish lifestyle that they can't maintain, and they don't know what they're going to do. They're not going to find a job that's going to sustain what they've been living in college, and they're going to have to resort to nefarious things if they want. And I'm just saying, it's the truth. I hate it, but it is what it is.
We're up against another break here. Don't go anywhere. More to come on this edition of Sports Blitz Live.
Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center provides optimum care for the whole person. Dr. Dimo Popov specializes in the prevention and diagnosis of high blood pressure, kidney disease, diabetes, and acute and chronic conditions. Our weight loss clinic offers lipo shots and a guide to healthy weight loss. Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center, where lifestyle changes are made.
Hillary Towers may very well be the Lake Martin area's best kept secret. An affordable senior citizens community located on Highway 22 East in Alexander City. Spacious one-bedroom units are currently available. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today for more information on the newly renovated Hillary Towers, 256-329-0552. 256-329-0552. Hillary Towers, 22 East, Alexander City.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Hi, I'm Abby Guy, Vice President at Riverbank and Trust. They say that most banks offer the same products, but Riverbank offers something most can't: personal connection. We love getting to know our customers by name and making them feel special with every interaction. It's a feeling of warm hospitality you won't find anywhere else. Experience it for yourself.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Brett here with you. Just
I sound like Luke on that, don't I?
Do what?
I sound like Luke on that, didn't I?
Yeah, a little bit. Give us a call, 256-234-6221. Let us know what's on your mind this evening. If you're thinking about this Auburn game, or if you're thinking about the Alabama game tomorrow night.
Big one.
Florida at
I think
Alabama.
that's a one-seed elimination game.
I think you're probably right.
Well, I mean, you know, the loser of that game is going to be on the outside looking in because Tennessee's still in the hunt.
Well, hey, look, to be perfectly honest, I mean, it may go beyond that because you got to figure Auburn.
Well, Auburn's going to get – Auburn's got
a one seed.
And Duke is –
They may not be the overall seed if they lose a couple of games, but – they're a one seed.
And Duke is too.
Okay, Duke's
so two of them are gone.
Houston may be a one.
Well, I think so, but I mean,
you got Tennessee.
Now we looked up Houston. They've still got to play Baylor and Kansas. Okay, so I know Kansas hasn't played the best this year, but you still got to play those two games. And I think they beat Baylor by 9 the first time, and maybe went to overtime with Kansas the first time.
Well, let's say Houston, Tennessee, Alabama, and Florida.
That's
4 teams for one spot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And look, I think the country's going to look at, well, here's Florida and Alabama. they gonna help us get rid of one of them. And I think if Alabama loses at home, they're definitely out. If they lose to Florida at home,
And there's nothing. I mean,
it's just is what
disrespectful about being a 2 seed.
Well, that'll be their 7th loss too, Andy.
Sure,
I mean, come on. I mean, you starting to creep down there in the area of like, man, how many 1 seeds have 7 losses? Going into a tournament. But you look at Houston. Tennessee and Florida, I know we've beaten each other up. I mean, when you look at the standings, Florida's lost several now. Auburn's kind of separated itself up there at the top. But when you look at these standings, Florida's 12 and they're 23-6. Or Alabama's 23-6. Florida is 25-4. Tennessee's 24-5. So Tennessee's got the easiest route of the bunch. Alabama's got to play the top 2 teams in the league back to back, and they just played Tennessee. You talking about a hard road? That's rough.
That was
that's brutal.
Somebody didn't do them any favors coming down the stretch for sure.
But I'm glad we played Missouri first. And you didn't know. Everybody thought. Think about it, Missouri didn't win a game last year, and then we beat them in the first game of this. Everybody thought, well, good Lord, this team ain't ever gonna win. And then they just calmly went ahead and went 10-6 to this point. So they only lost 5 since the first week of the season.
How about that?
They've really done. He deserves definitely a nomination for Coach of the Year. Doing what he's done and has them at 21-8, and they dropped a game to Vanderbilt. But dang, look at Vanderbilt at 8-8 and 20-9 in the league. They're nothing to sneeze at
and
either.
Vanderbilt, it's not just that they've got those wins. They've beaten Tennessee. They've beaten Kentucky.
Oh, I know.
The wins that they've got, the scalps that they've got,
Vanderbilt and Kentucky and Mississippi State all have the same record. They're all 8-8, and Vanderbilt and Mississippi State have a better overall record than Kentucky does by a game. They're 20-9, and Kentucky's 19-10. And that win this afternoon or earlier for Georgia got them knocking on the door 20 wins. They're at 19-11 now.
Well, speaking of the records and things, something that's going to make Luke's head explode.
Throw it out.
Joe Lenard, somebody was asking him about, the Pac-12 no longer being in existence.
Right.
Is that going to open up the door for more of these smaller market teams? And he said,
just what he wanted to hear.
It's one of 2 ways, and both of them Luke's going to hate. He said, well, no, what it's going to do is open up the door probably for more teams with losing records.
Oh, God.
With losing records in conference. In these bigger conferences, which maybe that's something that he would like. But
well, Joe Lenardi said for a while that they're, he's thinking 13 teams. I think the line right now is at Georgia. And when you look at Georgia, they're 19-11, 7-10 with 1 game left now. Best they can do is 8-10 in league play. Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, and Kentucky all have a 500 record. They still have to play this week, their midweek game. But then you got the clear cutoff to me is Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, LSU, and South Carolina suck. Arkansas 17-12. They've got some terrible losses. Texas, I know people keep saying something about Texas and because of the net. But, man, they're 16-13 and 5-11. That's a terrible resume. Oklahoma's worse. They're 4-12. And, of course, LSU and South Carolina are definitely out.
Yeah.
Unless they were to make a miracle run in the SEC tournament, which that's not going to happen. But, to me, those 5 teams are out. So that puts you at what? Does that give you 11 teams that make it? That's 11 if you count Georgia.
If Arkansas is the cutoff, it's 11.
What?
Georgia would be 12.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I think it's 11, Andy. Let's see. 11. No, it's 11 because Georgia would be the 11th team in, and then you got 5 out. That's 16. So I think that's I think that's a definite safe number. Now, again,
well, I'm saying if Mississippi State, Vandy, Arkansas, and Georgia all get in,
that's 11 teams.
That's 12.
No, it's not. Because
you got Texas, Oklahoma, LSU, and USC out. That's 4.
And Arkansas.
No, I'm putting Arkansas.
I'm not counting Arkansas.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
No, Arkansas out. I said the line is at Georgia.
But, Arkansas, technically.
They're out. They're not going to get in, Andy. They're 6 and 10.
If Georgia gets in, Arkansas is going to get in.
Not necessarily.
I mean,
not necessarily.
There's still a couple of games to play.
If Georgia goes 8 and 10 and goes 20 and 11,
I think Lunardi had Arkansas like the first 4 out. But I'm saying they could play their way in.
Maybe. I'm this. Forget Joe Lunardi. This is Brett.
Let's say if Arkansas
I say that should be the line to cut.
Okay. All right.
I think it's now. Do they get 12? Probably, because he's been sitting there. He's even said 13, but I think that is the only way Texas or Oklahoma get in is because of a net rating.
Yeah.
And they may give some credence, obviously, to the schedule difficulty. But to me, there's a hard line right there at Georgia. And you may even say, but I'm going to give Georgia the benefit of the doubt. They've had some big wins here lately. Yeah. And so if they finish, and who do they have tomorrow? Next week. Now, they got Vanderbilt. Now, they beat Vanderbilt. That's a big win for them. And that gets them to 8 and 10. I think they're definitely in. But
Vanderbilt could, if Arkansas could beat Vanderbilt tonight, that would go a long way for Arkansas as well.
That is true. I mean, that's a big game for both of those teams.
And that's a toss-up game.
And if Arkansas were to win that game, that might get them over the hump. I mean, because then, you knock Vanderbilt down a notch and they come up a notch, and that gets them. It's right there. 11 or 12. I'm gonna say right now, the cutoffs at Georgia, Arkansas may.
I think it's safe to say 11.
Yeah, 11 teams.
Yeah,
it's pretty impressive.
But still,
what's the most SEC's ever had in 12? I think that's right.
Is it?
I think 12 is the most it's ever made it.
I thought that was the Big East.
Oh, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was. Okay, so
I think the SEC probably the most we've ever had.
8.
Probably 8, maybe.
Yeah, I need to look at that and see, but they're gonna blow it out of the water this year.
Yeah, that's for sure. One way or the other.
Yep.
Don't go anywhere. More to come right after these messages.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
This is Joseph Dean with Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory. I am pleased to announce that Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is now open to serve the public at our location on the corner of 49 North and 280 West in Dadeville. Please stop by and see lifelong resident of Dadeville, Molly Kaler, who will be running the office and meeting with families who want to plan ahead and pre-need their services. We are also available by phone, 256-750-0381, or online at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Brett here with you again. Want to thank JR Sports Bar and Grill. Wonderful, wonderful place to have lunch or dinner right here in downtown Alexander City. Great people. Chris and Audra do a great job there. The food is always tremendous.
And they've been with us
great
for a
atmosphere.
long time.
Absolutely. We were talking about doing shows and stuff. It boggles my mind. I mean, 2013?
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness, that 2013?
That feels like yesterday.
It does. It really does.
It really,
doing the show out there on Cherokee. But
man, that is, because that was Nick Marshall and crap. I still remember sitting at that table and us doing those shows.
I remember that first day. I mean, literally, it was so funny. Literally, we were coming up minutes away saying, we'll do it tomorrow. But because we didn't know if we were going to have internet.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden, literally, like a minute before, it just came on. I mean, it just went through.
It was meant to be.
I guess so.
That was the side of the infamous Jerry Palm argument me and him got into.
Oh, yeah.
He ain't been back on the show since, and I don't want him back. So.
Well, I mean, you predict.
I pretty much told him he was
You predict Tennessee to beat Auburn.
Not just beat them like a drum.
Yeah.
And then it was the other way around. Auburn went
yeah.
up there and beat them like a drum. I tried to call him back. He didn't answer. Of course.
Shocking. Shocking.
It's amazing when you get embarrassed how you don't want to come back on the air. But anyway, that was the side of that, and plus many more things. That was also the side of the infamous FBI coming out and we're coming after you press conference that like literally fizzled like a candle in the wind.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the biggest nothing burger and everybody bought in, including us. We said, oh, man, they've had enough of this.
Oh, this is going to be revolutionary.
They about to take everybody out.
Oh, yeah. Bill Self.
Bill Self politely threw up 2 birds and said, y'all can sit on these and spin around. And they went, okay, and we're getting out. But, Will Wade lost his job. The guy at Arizona lost his job.
Yeah.
But Will Wade's, watch out now. Here he is working his way back up the ranks. And where's he at now?
Chuck Person lost his job.
Yeah, Chuck Person took the hose on that. And I think Auburn needs, kind of like Reggie Bush with USC and some of this other crap, I think it's time for Auburn to make amends there with Chuck Person.
I didn't say look, Chuck got entrapped.
But
I think that's what it's come to.
That's right. I mean, I think it's time to Chuck Person not to be the fall guy for all this crap anymore. And he's one of the greatest players to ever play at Auburn, and it just feels bad. And just think about, bringing up old stuff. I mean, the crap we've had to go through sitting D'Angelo Purefoy and Austin Wiley, for what reason? And then Alabama just says, the hell with it. I'm going to play Colin Sexton come hell or high water. And we're just going to play him. Y'all come out. And that's kind of what Auburn did in football with Cam Newton. And I'm glad Auburn didn't collapse to the pressure and hold him out for that Georgia game. And they said, I tell you what, y'all prove something.
Yeah.
We ain't sitting nobody, and we're going to play these games because you know good and well if we don't play Cam Newton in that game, we'll probably lose. And then they're not number one anymore. And then you don't go to play for a national championship, and you don't win a national championship. They would have screwed the whole thing up. NCAA, that's all they do is screw crap up for everybody. And now everybody's standing up to them, and they got no power. And so it kind of started during all that time. and these coaches standing up and throwing up a bird finger to him and saying, look, you ain't got no power over us. And the kid from Wisconsin here recently going to Miami, and they said, well, you can't do that. And he said, watch me. I'm about to absolutely unenroll from Wisconsin, and I'm about to float my butt right on down to Miami, and ain't a dadgum thing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And guess what? Nothing happened.
Yeah.
So talk about making some decisions. I know Bruce Pearl. I mean, they tried Alan Green, what a great human he was, tried to get Bruce Pearl to not say, to confess at a press conference, and his lawyer said he ain't saying nothing.
Yeah.
And they had taken Bruce Pearl off the Jumbotron at Auburn. You couldn't even, into football games, he wasn't even allowed to be up there because they were worried about all this junk. I mean, some of the stuff you look back on now and you think about we had to do or we were doing to try to, I guess, appease the NCAA is a bunch of junk.
Can you imagine? I mean, it scares me now when I think about it, how close that idiot Stephen Leith almost got to running Bruce Pearl.
He almost ran him off, man.
From Auburn. I mean, can you imagine?
We had a pair
of
complete idiots.
Now, granted, we have self-sabotaged ourselves over the years so many times at Auburn. This is the one time we avoided the
Well, what's going to say? We should have told them to jump when they went after Cliff Ellis.
Yeah.
I mean, Cliff Ellis had that next team he was building was Lewis Monroe and daggum. I mean, that whole Marco Killingsworth, and I mean, they had a loaded team and then pretty much got run out of town. And all Cliff Ellis was doing was what all the Blue Bloods have been doing for years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, dealing with AAU and getting, trying to get kids a pipeline to one of those programs, which, that's what the good teams do.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, boy. How about that little stroll down
no kidding.
memory lane for sure.
Amazing.
All right, so what's Auburn got to do tonight to get the win over Texas A&M? Texas A&M, they don't. I mean, they average about 77 points a game, whereas Auburn averages about 85 points. Auburn wants to get up and down. They want to, Texas A&M notoriously wants to bog down. You remember, I mean, that Alabama Texas A&M game. They were how many 50-something fouls called in that game?
It was terrible.
It's going to be like that again tonight. You better go ahead and get used to it.
We'll foul out. I mean, we'll have guys that foul out. I mean, because, even against Kentucky the other day, I mean, we had a boatload of people in foul trouble.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we had, 3 fouls and 2 with 4? I mean, we going to foul you now. I mean, it's just the way it is. And, you get in a high fouling competition like that, you could be in trouble, man. I mean, and Chaney notoriously gets in foul trouble early.
Yeah.
And so I hope that we can kind of refrain from.
Well, you better know where Wade Taylor is.
But the thing about Wade Taylor, he may go out there and not do squat. I mean, this is the most up and down guy on the planet. He may score 40 or he may score 2.
Right.
And it is the most bizarre thing with him, seriously. So.
Yeah. Well, him and Zurich Phelps, those are your two leading scorers for Texas A&M. 15 points and 14.5 points.
Right.
So, outside of those, if you know where those two guys are,
right.
If you can contain those two guys, you can probably run Texas A&M off the floor.
Hopefully so.
That seems to be the recipe for success.
Sure.
When you play Texas A&M. So, I tell you what, we'll go ahead and take one more break, and then we'll come back and we'll close the show out for tonight. Thank you so much for being with us.
Hello, this is Little Mo right here with you from DLR Us Auto Sales. At DLR Us, we have multiple sedans and SUVs. Come see us at 33445 US Highway 280, Childersburg, Alabama 35044. Call us at 256-267-3257. Let's make a deal, people. Our down payment is based on $500 down with the approval of credit. We make it happen. We work with you. We got the choice for you, and we make the right deal.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care opens 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union, is looking for the next hometown hero. Hometown heroes could be first responders, public service workers, community leaders, pastors, community volunteers, or anyone who is making a difference in your hometown. Submit your nominations now online at myhscu.com. And if your nominee is selected, they will get a $100 Visa cash card and a certificate of appreciation from Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union, federally insured by the NCUA.
Hillary Towers may very well be the Lake Martin area's best kept secret. An affordable senior citizens community located on Highway 22 East in Alexander City. Spacious one-bedroom units are currently available. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today for more information on the newly renovated Hillary Towers, 256-329-0552. 256-329-0552. Hillary Towers, 22 East, Alexander City.
Alexander City Arts Council is thrilled to bring exceptional performances to our community. February 13th, comedian Rex Havens performs his one-man, family-friendly show, Women and Children First. The season closes March 12th with Emmett Cahill performing Irish classics and the best of traditional Irish repertoire, as well as Broadway hits. Save the dates for Women and Children First on February 13th and Emmett Cahill on March 12th. Visit alexcityarts.org for ticket info.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Brett here with you. One more segment. Again, Auburn and Texas A&M coming on. If you're listening on 95.7,
97.5.
I listen to 95.7 The Jet at home on Alexa.
So now it's 97.5.
97.5, Kalijah Country.
There you go.
Auburn and Texas A&M.
And by the way, Kentucky just went to final with LSU 95-64.
Whew.
31 points.
Well, I guess Kentucky's a good team.
Yeah.
And Auburn's made a lot of good teams
look bad.
Look mediocre.
No question about it. No question. Georgia, of course, beat South Carolina. Texas now leads Mississippi State with 28 seconds to go in the first half, 35-32. So Texas trying to get a resume builder.
So you got Auburn and Texas A&M at 8. You got Arkansas at Vandy
at 9.
At 9.
What
that's going to be a late
world. When did they do a 9 o'clock start?
It's a weird. Well, they usually don't stagger them like this.
Because Texas,
5,
Mississippi
6,
State,
7, 8, 9.
Yeah, Texas, Mississippi State is the SEC network game, and they're not even at halftime yet, Andy. They may not get that thing started at 9.
My goodness. And then tomorrow, Florida at Alabama, Missouri at Oklahoma, Tennessee at Ole Miss. As you mentioned, Tennessee, they play Ole Miss tonight, and then Who do they have?
Play Ole Miss tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I mean,
Yeah.
and this weekend. So, I mean.
Yeah, when Tennessee has the easiest route.
Tennessee may have, or they probably do have the leg up
play South Carolina
to try to get that final
they play South
one
Carolina
seed.
On Saturday.
Well, there you go.
At home. That'd be the one
So,
to lose. You know, I mean, seriously, that's about in a rock fight game. South Carolina gets a guy out there, it goes off, and look, I know we didn't talk about the Alabama game much tonight, but that was unbelievable. I mean, Alabama had that game won 10 different ways coming down the stretch, and Tennessee just kept hanging around and hanging around and hanging around. And, you know, Nate Oates just mentally checked out. He had 2 timeouts, and, you know, you cannot get a 5-second call there. No. You just can't do it. And, look, we talked about it on the podcast. If I'm not letting that get to 3. If it's a 3 count, I'm calling a timeout. We're regrouping. I'm not even gonna. Everybody's like, well, that may have been a fast. Every time you get called for 5 seconds, it was a fast 5. You know, you hear that.
Yeah.
Well, don't let it get to a fast 5. You know, in your head, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3.
If he's starting to say 4. Then you
get rid of the ball or time out, and you got 2 of them. And so, look, I remember when Tony Barbie took Auburn down to Florida, and we ain't won down there since Buck was a calf, and all we had to do was inbound the ball. All we had to do, Andy, was get the ball in bounds, and the game was over in 5 seconds.
I remember.
I mean, just one stupid thing after another. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to criticize, and he blocked me on Twitter, but that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of people are, you know, said right after that. I was talking to somebody, and there was, you know, Oates took responsibility for it, and I said he should have. If
he'd have thrown somebody else under the bus on that one, he would have looked like an a-hole. I mean, I'm sorry.
He knew it, and everybody knew it. You like you said. I mean,
it was right by their bench, Andy.
Not that you had one timeout, Brett.
You had 2, but they were right by his bench.
He got 3.9 seconds. I mean,
it's not like they were on the other end of the floor and he couldn't get a signal. The guy was inbounding the ball right by their bench.
You don't have to win that game, but you can't lose it from that point of view.
And they did.
With 3 point, you got to take the last shot, give yourself a chance to win it. If not, you go to overtime, take your chances. But, yeah, it was And then
you don't guard the guy coming down. You just stand there and watch him take a shot.
Yeah, so now granted, nobody thought he.
Well, but that's when nobody thinks is when it happened.
Yeah, that was a March moment. You know that.
You know, another rule of thumb. I mean, the guy's 2-3 steps beyond half court and pulls. You know, I think LeBaron Fallon's probably thinking, if I get up here and foul him and put him at the line with no time, and he hits a free throw and we lose like that, I don't want to be the GOAT either. So, you know, I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen other. But it all started when you can't get the ball in bounds.
Yeah.
And that was on Nate Oates. That was because, again, I'm going to stress this one more time, it was beside their bench. It was not on the other side of the floor. It wasn't on the other side of the court. It wasn't like he couldn't say, hey, man, you call a timeout. You know, it's like you're in control. The referee's standing there. All you got to say, timeout. Let's regroup right here.
Yeah.
So,
well,
I'm glad they did it.
You know, somebody was asking me, you know, about Auburn and you know, do I think they're going to, you know, win a national championship? I said, look, I have no clue. I know this. I know that Auburn can win a national championship. Alabama can win a national championship.
There's about 8 teams.
Florida can win a national championship.
There's 8 teams.
Houston can win a national championship.
Duke.
Iowa State.
Yes.
I mean, all these teams are good enough
they can
to
go
win.
They can go on a run, get the right side of the bracket and win.
The tournament play, you got to have a little luck. I mean, you know, Auburn has been the best team. There's no question Auburn is the best team in the country. There's no question that Auburn has played like the best team in the country. Doesn't mean you're going to win the tournament. It just
well,
does.
Kentucky went 30-0, Andy, and went to the Final Four and lost in the semifinal to Wisconsin. I mean, And Wisconsin shouldn't even been on the floor with them. I mean, that was a loaded freaking team.
You have an off night, somebody else has a good night.
Look, the guy from Oakland last year, you remember that guy? He was falling down side to side. What did he hit, 12 threes against Kentucky and knock them out of the tournament? And it's like, dude, some nights you can't – this guy from nowhere can't miss, and you lose a game.
The kid from Duke.
18 points in the first half.
You know, so
he ain't done nothing since.
Look, the fact that Auburn is getting in the habit of raising banners at Neville.
That's a good thing.
And this one in 2025, that one, you need to put a little asterisk.
Let me
by
say,
it.
but let me say this: if they were to go out in the first weekend of the tournament, it's going to put it's going to have a sour.
You can't go out at one seed.
It's going to have a sour
You
taste.
cannot go out
as
a one seed.
Look, they can't let that pressure of the last 3 years going out in the round of 64 or the round of 32 get to them. I'm serious. They got to get past that, man.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's where that luck comes in, maybe.
Yep. Hopefully, it'll be on their side.
All right, it's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Enjoy the game. I'll talk to you tomorrow on the Auburn Blitz, 12-1. Be sure to join us then. He's Brett. I'm Andy. So long for now. We'll talk again soon.